Mr. Anderson here with Freedom Fighters Radio and Missouri Stands Up, and we're here at the Stop the Mask Nonsense rally here in front of Sam Page's office. We're going to go across the street and get some more information and find out what our local heroes are up to.
So, do you all still go into stores where they make you wear a mask?
Yes, we have.
Okay, do you know how you don't have to wear a mask?
I don't wear it.
The county has a medical exemption in the stay-at-home order that you can claim. I have a small business. We do not wear masks. I claim the medical exemption. So does my shop partner. Neither one of us wears masks. We have been reported. We have been vilified, whatever you call that, on Facebook, on various social medias and groups by people. We have been reported to the county health department. We have had a conversation with the county health department who listened to our protocol. We have hand sanitizer. We use it, we sell it, we have masks if people want to buy them. We do not require people to wear masks. We post this on our door. It is very specific. It says that, and you should look it up and read it because most people do not know there is a medical exemption. You can find it on the St. Louis County Department of Health website. The third amended order requiring members of the public and employees to wear a face covering, signed November 18th, 2020. It says that persons with health conditions that prohibit wearing a face covering, this order, nothing in this order shall require the use of a face covering by any person for whom doing so would be contrary to their health or safety because of a medical condition. It goes on with many more details, and at the bottom, you are not allowed to ask someone what their medical condition is due to HIPAA. So you do not have to wear a mask. I'm just saying. I don't, we don't. I have some copies. If you want one, I just brought a few. Look it up, print it out, take it with you. You might be surprised at how many businesses will let you enter their store and shop. Most employees do not know about this, but let me tell you, their managers do. And so I just encourage you to stand up for your health and for your, I don't have to tell people I have asthma, but I know that a mask is very dangerous for me, and I'm tired of being sick wearing one. And my husband says, probably if you didn't have asthma, you wouldn't wear one either. Anyway, but that's besides the point.
Thank you for standing up and saying the truth.
Oh, I have a little not-for-profit in Webster called Get the Word Out. We help kids in Africa. So, anyway.
My name's Ben Brown. I'm the owner of Satchmo's Bar and Grill in St. Louis County, and recently announced I am running for State Senate in District 26.
How can we help support your cause? Is there a website or any way we can get the word out for you?
Yeah, you can find information about my campaign, and if you'd like to support me, you can go to benbrown4senate.com. Find me on Facebook at Ben Brown for Missouri, and we'll be posting updates there. If you want updates on some of the legislation working its way through the legislature right now, I'll be posting information on House Bill 75, which is the bill aimed at restoring oversight and accountability to these public health orders. And stay up to date and reach out and make sure you're contacting your senator. Tell them to make sure they're supporting HB 75.
Okay, cool. And then I wanted to find out, you're the owner of a restaurant here in St. Louis.
Yes, Satchmo's Bar and Grill.
And how did this closure, how did it affect your business in a negative way? What happened?
Well, just having your dining room shut down, it's just devastating. I can't emphasize enough how much it kills you. We were shut down for about 2 to 3 weeks in December. We were allowed to be open for about 2 weeks at only curbside and delivery. And throughout the whole month between being shut down and being limited, we did the equivalent of 1 day's sales throughout the entire month of December.
And is that enough to keep you going and keep you afloat?
No, not even at 50%. No one's profiting in our industry at 50% capacity. All these restrictions, they're completely arbitrary, and they're not based on data, they're not based on science. Otherwise, we'd be open right now. We wouldn't still have a curfew where restaurants have to close down. And then you look at the data that shows that during the time restaurants were closed down, Counties like St. Charles and City of St. Louis that had their restaurants open actually performed better than St. Louis County. So if we were following the science, following the data, you think that you'd be humble enough to take a step back, look at those numbers, and realize maybe we misstepped here. Maybe we need to reanalyze our approach. But no, we have leadership in St. Louis County that would prefer to double down on bad policy, no matter how many lives it affects.
And would you say that you represent a large number of different business owners?
I mean, that was my purpose for getting involved. It was for the people that lost their only source of income with no warning, the parents that are just struggling to pay the mortgage and put food on the table, college students that are trying to live just paycheck to paycheck. You can't just take away their only source of income without warning, especially right before the holidays. It was disgraceful, and it was just very tone deaf to what had already been occurring in our community. And I got to the point where somebody had to take a stand. Somebody has to start fighting back.
Absolutely. That's the same stance I have. And we have states like Florida and then also South Dakota that have remained open, and yet the COVID rates have completely declined. So the reality is that there's two different sciences. There's the fake science coming from the drug companies and the false news, and then there's the real science, of course, that we know about, but the public is not aware of yet. So what's your opinion about Florida and then Governor Christie Noem's state, where they've kept it open and yet COVID rates have gone down?
Well, I think if you're taking an honest look at it, I mean, it's pretty clear that the lockdowns have not worked. And, you think, based on the information St. Louis County was even providing leading up to the restaurant shutdown, they were saying the main driver of transmission was small gatherings in homes. And then they lock everyone down, close these businesses like restaurants that have all these public health precautions in place. You force people to gather in homes where you say the spread's occurring. And then you wonder why places that are locked down have higher rates of transmission than places that remained open. It seems like common sense, but it's so clear at this point that these decisions are being made based on politics and not science.
Absolutely. Tell me your full first and last name again.
Ben Brown.
And then when do you think we can see you on the ticket?
Well, it'll be the primary will be August of next year, so it's going to be a long haul. We're just kind of getting the foundation, everything laid out for the campaign. But like I said, if you'd like to support me, find me on Facebook, Ben Brown from Missouri, or benbrownforsenate.com.
Will do. You have my vote, and God bless you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ben. All right, very good. Sounds good.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Byrd. I'm against the masks. I'm actually for people who make their own choices. That's what I'm for. Yeah, common sense. We don't have that anymore. But while we're on the subject of common sense, and we have supposed health officials telling us how to handle our lives, these people are in our government, and our government is also supposedly really worried about pollution. So I'm thinking, since we've just got some ridiculous mask over our face, any old one will do, no OSHA requirements whatsoever, maybe we should put our garden hoses in our tailpipes and then run it into our window and close it up while we're driving around town to help reduce the emissions, right?
So,
Common sense, seriously.
A lot of these guys are scamming people. We got Sam Page scamming people. The trouble is, he's
Right.
getting money, millions of dollars for his friends and his
Right.
friends' companies.
Right.
Tell us more about that, so we can, because truly the emperor has no clothes.
Well, the emperor has no clothes,
Yeah.
but not everyone, we aren't, but many people are apparently cheerleading and saying how great it looks. No, not the case at all. If it were really a true health problem, we would be getting lessons in cross-contamination, for example. Like, discard your mask after a single use. Do not touch your mask. Wash your hands obsessively. Also, there would be biohazard bins for us to place our discarded masks and used gloves in if this were truly a problem. But it's not. It's all for control. They want your money, which is cashless. They want you to control you. They want you to be forced to be vaccinated. So, there's that. And they want to monitor your every move, and they want to be able to tell you, this is like Simon Says, and you have to stop and freeze, even if you're in mid-nose scratch.
So I haven't worn a mask since day one. If I do, it's just because I have to wear that for work.
I wear it to go in the grocery store.
How do you get around doing it? I tell people I got a medical condition, or I tell people just to bug off and stop talking to me. But what's your approach?
Well, you can always say that you have an underlying medical condition that prevents you from having to wear a mask, and thank goodness for HIPAA, because you don't have to disclose what that medical issue is. And there is an exemption within the health order released by the county, so you don't have to wear a mask in St. Louis County.
It's sad to see. Look, we have a genuine woman of God here who's standing up for our rights, but so many men. I don't know if there's something in drinking water, maybe it's atrazine or runoff from Monsanto, but they become gigantic pansies, just total and it's hard to see it because there's no men who are actually fighting. Now we have that guy Ben, the owner of Satchmo's, who's fighting for us. Thank God.
Yeah.
He was actually hauled off and taken away to jail as a result of trying to help people stand up for the truth. So for me, I don't wear the stupid mask unless I have to for my boss, but otherwise I just don't wear it anywhere I go. And I've had people call the cops on me. So what do I say? I tell people I have a breathing condition or something.
You have an underlying medical condition that makes mask wearing contrary to good health for your condition. And thanks to HIPAA, you don't have to share that information with them. And the exemption is in the order, so maybe they should practice their reading skills.
Yes, yeah.
And because obviously they haven't learned the mind your business skill.
Okay, keep standing up for the truth.
Of course.
Are there
always.
any other things you want to talk about? Anything else on your mind?
Well, our state legislature is hard at work against us. It's a Republican supermajority that does more breaking arm, patting back on what great job they are as a supermajority than actually protecting us from government mandates and from laws that, who's making these laws? Oh, yeah, the Republicans.
Yeah, because somebody's getting paid.
So
it ain't us.
Yeah, we got Bob Onder pretending to be for liberty.
Well,
only on the surface. Don't poke too far beneath the surface.
Tell us about what's going on with, because I'm trying to wrap my mind around it.
I can't tell too much about it because I don't know where we are in the stage because I had to actually go back to work so I could continue paying their friggin' salaries.
My trouble is with the push for the vaccines right now.
Well, exactly. Now, there's something I think was just passed yesterday to make it so that we don't have to be forced to be vaccinated if we don't want. I believe that actually just passed. Was that HB 75?
I believe so.
Okay, all right, because there's so many numbers.
Yeah, too many.
So SB 51 is still in play, and that's the one that's going to give blanket exemption to large, like the pharmacy industry, hospitals, nursing homes. All the people that either refused to treat people for their heart attack because they didn't have COVID, like my friend's mom who was sent home 3 times to finish dying of her heart attack, which she finally did because she didn't have COVID. And for the woman who was being bathed in the nursing home and the aide went to get the drink of water and left and she was discovered, 12 hours later, dead. So they'll be exempt from liability for neglect and failure to or refusal to treat, while business owners, if they make people wear masks, make people basically comply with they said that there's no mandatory vaccine, but I'm calling BS on that because here's why. If the healthcare official decides that the vaccine is the way to go and they issue that edict, we have to comply thanks to that law. And you can thank the likes of Bob Onder, who wants to be he might want to go to Blaine Luetkemeier's seat in Congress. We definitely do not need to send him there. And I mean, we've got a lot of fake Republicans. When you're really for liberty, it shows. We don't need all of this language. And there's another thing.
I know, it is too much language.
Well,
that's
and not only that, when they want to be specific, they get really specific.
Right.
Oh, and they're so careful.
But it's 2 different things on the bill. It's the protecting restaurants, and then it's the no liability for old folks.
And so basically, exactly. And no liability for people who administer the vaccine if you're injured.
Correct.
It's no liability from Big Pharma if you die or are otherwise injured from the vaccine.
Yeah.
It's outrageous. We have absolutely no recourse.
Yeah.
And our whole country is based on the premise that we have recourse. There's recourse for actions.
Yeah.
Where do we go?
Yeah, what
I think we need is a civil war because
hopefully we don't have a civil war.
Okay, I'm going to say this. I don't want a civil war, but I believe that it is so screwed up at this point that the only thing that will fix it is civil war.
The real question is where are the bills protecting us? And so
exactly. Where are they? I'm glad you asked that question. Let's ask Senator Onder or Senator Andrew Koenig.
I was at a meeting
or Senator Bill Eigel
recently, and that's
we already know that Senator Denny Hoskins is a total fake Republican.
I don't know who the guys. I'll find out though.
Oh, and his office is real ups. And in his office, it's private. You can't go in there. It's private. I'm like, it's not private.
I think
it's
that's
public.
where we went to when we were at Jeff City. We were
Yeah,
trying
and we're not their constituents. Are you in his district? I said, can you tell me his votes in his district don't affect me and mine?
Yeah.
Because if you can, then I'll leave. But you can't, so I won't.
That's the right question, though. Is somebody? I was at a meeting recently in St. Charles, and one of the gals asked. She says, but Dr. Bob, where are the bills that are protecting us?
Exactly.
So that's what we have to hammer our elected officials.
Specifically protecting us.
Where are the bills protecting us?
Where are they?
And then the kids too, because if these drug manufacturers get their hands on the kids, they're going to be making a lot more money. So we have to stop that.
My son's school every year. Get the Gardasil vaccine. Get the meningococcal vaccine. I'm like, he's not getting any of those vaccines. Okay, so look at this. So let's see. Huge news yesterday in the Mo Senate. We passed an amendment to ban COVID-19 vaccination passports. Okay, great. No entity in the state shall require a documentation of an individual having received a vaccination against any disease in order for the individual to access transportation systems or services, including but not limited to buses, air travel, rail travel, taxi cab, or limousine services, prearranged rides as defined in Section 387.400.
Missouri?
Missouri. Other public transportation or any public transportation facilities, including but not limited to bus and airport facilities, and further amend the title and enacting clause accordingly, and blah, blah, blah. Here's the question.
Yeah.
What about schools?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Schools isn't in here.
Well, that's
specifically omitted, in my opinion.
The drug companies, the next target's going to be the
Right,
kids.
exactly.
How are we going to pawn these bad batch of vaccine injections on these kids now?
Exactly.
So yeah, it's the same thing.
Yep.
Continue your fight for freedom.
I will.
Thank you so much.